Good morning, my name's Zoe Adams and I'm an associate at Michael Lynch Family Lawyers.
And I'm Megan Armstrong and I'm a solicitor at Michael Lynch Family Lawyers.
And this short video is just to discuss how you can best utilise your family lawyer.
So how to best utilise your family lawyer is different for everyone, and it really depends on what's important to you and what you want to get out of the advice or representation that you're seeking from your family lawyer.
That's right, and Megan and I were talking that it really falls into two categories. It can be both what's important to you in terms of your engagement with your lawyer. So for example, in terms of the communication that you have with your lawyer, do you prefer that to happen in person, by telephone, by way of email? What kind of frequency do you want to have contact with your lawyer? Because some people prefer regular communication, whereas some people would prefer not to be too overwhelmed and would prefer that be staggered out. And the second aspect to that is what's important to you in terms of the actual substantive issues that you're seeking advice upon. So for example, if you're seeking advice in relation to property or financial matters, is it important to you that you preserve your superannuation? Is it important to you that you retain the family home? And talking to your lawyer about that and finding out how realistic is that outcome for you. And likewise, if what you're seeking advice about is in respect of arrangements for your child, is it that there are some particular arrangements you would prefer to see in place, or are there some particular needs of your child that you think are really important to be taken into account in terms of what arrangements for your child should be made moving forward?
Yeah. And to add on to that, Zoe, in terms of communicating with your lawyer about what's important to you, it's also important that you be transparent. So we often have clients saying to us things like, I don't know if this background information is relevant. If you're unsure, it's best to just include it because we can't know what's happened in the background if that information isn't provided.
Yeah, and again, going back to how you engage with your family lawyer, your preference might be that that's something that you don't feel comfortable at the outset speaking to your lawyer about, and that's perfectly okay. You might prefer to send them an email and say, look, I just think it's important that you also know X, Y, Z. And again, expressing to them that you have some reservations or concerns about the discussion you're about to have with them is perfectly fine as well.
Another tip to best utilise your family lawyer is to not delay in getting the advice. So often when you speak with your family lawyer for the first time, it's about making a strategy and a plan for your property settlement or your parenting matter. So it's important that you don't hold off too long getting that advice.
Yeah, that's right. Although it's never too late to get advice, the sooner you can get advice from a family lawyer, the better. And in that regard, it's possible that you can just engage with a lawyer, take on board what they've said and not take any action at that time. So you don't have to feel like taking that leap to speaking to a lawyer then means that you're set on a litigious pathway. It can be that you simply have that discussion, as I say, make an informed decision, and that can then shape what you do moving forward as well. So you might be making decisions in respect of finances or in respect of your child, and you will then know what the consequences might be because you've been armed with that information from your lawyer.
And one of the last tips to best utilise your family lawyer is to, if you're a bit more cost conscious, let your lawyer know what your budget is. With that information, they can tailor the advice that they're giving you to prioritise how they best think that you could spend that money on your legal fees. So it's important that they know that information.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip to end on, Megan, because I do think that it's often a really big concern that people come in and have, and they're very shy to talk about legal fees. So I think it's a very important discussion to be had. And again, if you're not comfortable having that conversation in person, perhaps it's something that you can put in an email. Thank you.